This morning we're privileged to have with us the Irving and Longfellow School combined bands. This is their spring concert, and these are our 5th and 6th graders. You can put your hands down now, boys and girls, and listen. Thank you. So we'd like to give them our full attention. They have worked all year long on learning music. And we know that music is very important in each of our lives. We'd like to give our full attention to these boys and girls and to their band directors who have worked so hard this year.
All right, thank you very much. For the past year, and we have been working individually, and for the past 2 days we've had some special rehearsals at Lorain Middle School to do this presentation. The first number by our band will be titled Barracuda Rock. Thank you very much. At this time, we would like to feature one of our sections in the band. We're going to feature our flute section first. The flutes are sitting in the front row. Flutes, if you would hold those up. The flute is the highest sounding member of the band. It is called a woodwind instrument. You play it kind of like a pop bottle. You just blow across the opening in the head joint of the flute. And we are now going to have the flutes demonstrate the sound of the flute. Our second selection by the full band is the Mozart Star Song. Thank you very much. Now we would like to move to the next section of the band. This is our clarinet section. Clarinets, you want to hold those up? The clarinet is also a woodwind instrument, but the clarinet uses a reed, whereas the flute, you just kind of blow the air across the opening. And we are going to demonstrate the sound of the clarinet. Clarinets. And now we'll put the band back together and we will play a feature for our drums. It is called Drummer's Duel. The next section in the band that we'd like to show you today is our saxophone section. Saxophones, can you hold those up? Saxophone is still a woodwind instrument, still uses a reed and lots of fingering, even though it's made out of brass, but it will sound a little bit louder. And now the sound of the saxophone. Our next song is titled Old Mac Bingo. It starts out as Old MacDonald, but somewhere in the middle it ends up to be There Was a Farmer Had a Dog and Bingo was his name. You can't decide which song it is. See if you can tell where we're at. Old Mac Bingo.
would like to turn to the brass family. Brass instruments are made of a metal called brass. They have a cup-shaped mouthpiece, which means it goes in and it's got a hole in it. The brass players use their lips to make the sound instead of using a reed like the clarinet and the alto sax, or blowing across a hole like the flute does. So when they play, what they do is they go. But it sounds better than that when they do it in the trumpet, which is the first one we're going to use. Trumpets are the high instrument of our brass family. Trumpets, would you please hold those up for us? We have a lot of trumpets in our band. And today they would like to play a folk song called "Bile Them Cabbage Down." I think you're going to like our next song. It's about someone's dog, but there's a problem with this dog because my dog has fleas. Now we would like to move to the lower members of our brass family. They also have a cup-shaped mouthpiece, but it's bigger, and that makes it lower. The length of the instrument is also longer, and that also makes it lower. We have trombones, which move the slide in and out like that to change notes, and we have one instrument that sounds like a trombone, but it's called a baritone. So when you see the instrument that is not a trombone, that's Josh playing the baritone. Trombones, baritones, would you hold those up for us, please? Ooh. We would like our trombones and baritones to play a song called Take 5. We would next like to play a traditional American folk song called the Erie Canal. Our last family of instruments in the band is called the percussion family. You may know it better by its name, drums. But percussion means not only drums, it means several other things too. We have the big bass drums, which are on the end. Then we have 5 snare drums, which are called snare drums because across the bottom they have some curly wires that are called snares. And that gives them a buzzy sound. We also have a cymbal on a stand, and it's called a suspended cymbal. It's in front of the boy in the yellow shirt, Andrew. And then the boy on the end is holding a tambourine. And Andrew in the yellow shirt is now also holding a wood block. And we play things like cowbell, triangle, all kinds of sound effect instruments in the percussion family. To demonstrate some of these instruments, the percussion section will now play 2 ways to play it. We would like to finish up with a song called Power Rock, and it's 2 songs, and I'll bet you've heard of both of them. Power Rock.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools, TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.
Hi, I'm Bob McGrath.
And I'm Big Bird.
And we love to make music. Music can help kids learn. Did you know that making music, any music...
Like Twinkle Twinkle?
Right, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, can help your child with language, reading, and even math.
And it's lots of fun, too.
To find out how children learn and grow with music, visit www.amc-music.org.
And you'll see...
Music works wonders.
Yeah, it sure does.
Longfellow and Irving band, 5th and 6th grade, and they will be performing for your pleasure. And remember, I use the word pleasure, so I hope you enjoy.
This morning we did this program over at Irving School and did a very nice job over there. We also had it on TV, and we're going to put it on TV again over here. The members of the band practice in small groups to learn their instruments throughout the year. And this week we've taken everybody down to Lorain Middle School because they have a nice large band room and practice together. Of course, there's only 2 schools that we're putting together here. 5th and 6th grade bands from Longfellow and Irving. We will start our concert with a piece called Barracuda Rock. We're going to demonstrate some of the different sections in the band for you. The first section that we're going to introduce is our front row, and that is the flute section. Flutes, could you hold those up in the air, please? The flute is the highest pitch member in the band. It is considered a woodwind instrument. It's got lots of fingers, fingering keys on there, so you use your fingers quite a bit. It has a very nice, light sound. We're now going to demonstrate the sound of the flute. We're going to put the whole band together again for our second selection, and Mrs. Tucker will conduct the Mozart Star Song. All right, now we would like to show you another section in the band. The next section, back in the second row, is our clarinet section. Hold those up, clarinets. Clarinet is also a woodwind instrument like the flute, but it has a little bit lower sound. They're made out of wood and oftentimes special plastic called resonite. They also use a reed to produce the sound. And now we're going to listen to the sound of the clarinet. All right, our third selection by full band is titled Drummer's Duel. All right, the next section that we'd like to introduce to you is our saxophone section. Saxes, would you hold those instruments up, please? We have alto saxophones that we use in 5th and 6th grade. And they are still considered a woodwind instrument, use lots of fingers, even though they're made out of brass. And they also use a reed like the clarinet. But the saxophone will get a little bit louder sound because of the material it's made out of. This would be the sound of the saxophone. Our next selection by the entire band is called Old Mac Bingo. It starts out with Old MacDonald, but somewhere in the middle comes There Was a Farmer Had a Dog and Bingo was his name. And then all of a sudden it's Old MacDonald. I guess they couldn't make up their mind which song they were actually going to do. Old Mac Bingo.
Now we would like to talk about the instrument family called the brass instruments, and they're made out of the metal called brass. They do not have a reed like the clarinet and the alto sax, and you do not blow across the hole like on the flute. The brass instruments have a cup-shaped mouthpiece, which means it's kind of like that. It's got a hole in the bottom, and to make the sound, this is what the brass players do with their mouth. Honest, really, believe me. But it sounds better than that when they play it in the instrument. Our highest brass instrument is called the trumpet, and we have a lot of trumpets. Trumpet players, would you hold those up, please? Now they have 3 valves that they push up and down, and that makes the trumpet a little longer or a little shorter. And now we'd like the trumpets to play a song for you called, it's a folk song, it's called Bile Them Cabbage Down. And our next song is about a dog, but this dog has a problem because my dog has fleas. Did you like that song? We like that one too. We have a couple more brass instruments to show you. One is called the trombone. Like the trumpet, it has that cup-shaped mouthpiece, but the mouthpiece is bigger. In music, usually if things are bigger, they're lower. They sound lower in pitch. Now the trombone moves the slide like this, and you can see it getting longer when the trombone players move their slide out. And it is a longer instrument than the trumpet, so it's lower. We also have an instrument called a baritone, which you may not have ever seen before. We have one boy that plays that. So with the trombones and baritones, please hold their horns up for us. Can you tell the difference between the trombones and the baritone? And now, the baritone does sound almost exactly like the trombone, so when they play together, you probably can't tell the difference. They would like to play a song for you called Take 5. And now the band will play a traditional American folk song called the Erie Canal. Another family of instruments represented in our band is called the percussion family. And you probably know about drums. So drums are part of the percussion instrument family. Also, things like cymbals, cowbell, woodblock, tambourine. There's so many different percussion instruments, the sound effect instruments. We would like the percussionists now to play for you a song called Two Ways to Play It. So you can see how these three families of instruments go together to make band music. And we would like to finish our program today with a song called Power Rock. Thank you for coming to our concert.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.
Hey, what's that?
Check it out! It's a knife!
Cool, let me see. I'm gone.
Watch it. You want to get expelled? Hand it back.
Chill out. No one saw me. What do you plan on doing with it anyway?
I'll turn it into the principal or some other responsible adult.
Are you crazy? This is a nice knife. They'll only keep it.
Haven't you heard of the school district zero tolerance policy?
What does that mean? Zero tolerance for what?
For weapons. Zero tolerance means that any student that brings a knife or gun on school property will be expelled from school for up to a whole year.
Here, you take it. I can't afford to lose a year of school.
My friends did the right thing. If you find a knife on the way to school, hand it to the first responsible adult you see. For your safety and the safety of others, don't bring a knife to school.
Dad, we're best friends, right?
Guess what? I'm about 2 seconds away from dumping you, kicking you out of my life.
You won't even recognize me. And pretty soon, someone's gonna try to get me to take drugs.
Want to do something about it? You're gonna have to make me tell you where I am and who I'm with every day.
No matter how much I fight you. Don't like it? Tough.
You gotta be the grown-up.